Today I want to share with you some wonderful vintage cookbooks that I recently found on a little trip into Austin. Hi sweet friends, my name is Mary and welcome to Mary's Nest. This channel is all about living the simple life by cooking from scratch, making home remedies, and creating a cozy home with charming thrift store finds. So if you're like me and you like to live the simple life, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the little notification bell that'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Well, as I've shared with you in the past, I live in the Texas Hill Country, which is between Austin and San Antonio. It's right in the middle of the state. We live closer to Austin, and we usually go into Austin about once a week. We go shopping and so on and so forth. But something that we did the last time we were in town was we went to a place called, and I have the little card here so I don't forget, called Recycled Reads. And what it is, it's a little store that's owned by the Austin Public Library, where they put in all the books that they want to discard. And so rather than throwing them out and, as they say, sending them to the landfill, they just put them up for sale. And some of them are wonderful vintage books. And I found 3 that are just so charming, I can't wait to share them with you. Well, as you all know, I love making blender batter recipes, and when I came across this book, it just really gave me a chuckle, and I just couldn't resist it. It's called Electric Blender Recipes, and apparently the blender was just being introduced and was new to people. And this book was written in 1952, and it's by Mabel Stegner, I think is her name. Oh, there's my timer. I just have to check on that. I'm making a delicious flatbread from discarded sourdough starter, and I'll link to that so that you can see the video for that and get the recipe. So here's a picture of Mabel on the back, if you can see that, just a charming lady from the 1950s. And I was born in the 1950s, so this reminds me, seeing pictures like this reminds me very much of what the ladies looked like and dressed so nice with pearls and a lovely suit. But in any event, this is especially cute because this, in the beginning of this book, in her dedication, it's to Fred Waring, who made the Waring blender, and they're still around today. And it says, an outstanding musician, a fine person, a good friend, creator of the Waring blender. So I thought that was nice. But she's just got some wonderful recipes in here, and I'm actually really looking forward to trying a lot of them. She goes from literally soup to nuts. She's got soups, salads and salad dressings, beverages, hot breads, canapé spreads and dunking sauces, desserts and dessert sauces, sherbets and ice creams, cakes, cookies, pies and frostings, crumbs and crumb crusts, vegetable dishes, main courses, sauces and relishes, marmalades and conserves, blending tricks, we always need those, special diets, children's meals, party menus and recipes, and pickups and cheer-ups. It'll be interesting to see what that's all about. But in any event, I just wanted to show you this. And if you see this in your travels at used bookstores or vintage bookstores, be sure to take a look at it. Electric Blender Recipes by Mabel Stegner. And I'll see if I can find any of these on Amazon. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but if I do, I'll put links to them down in the description below so you can find out more information for them if you want to look for them in your travels. The next book I found was also a blender book. And this one is Mary Meade's Magic Recipes for the Electric Blender. And it's by Ruth Ellen Church. This is also 1952. And something that I loved about this book was, first of all, the drawings are delightful. It's got like a little, a little tomato or something jumping into the blender. But I loved when I saw the table of contents. Chapter 1, what is a blender? I love that. And then she goes on to do breads, muffins, pancakes and waffles, cakes and icings, cookies, desserts, dips, dunks and spreads, drinks, more drinks, and then she's the non-alcoholic kind, entrees, salads, blender made, salad dressings, sauces smooth as silk, soups, vegetables, quick tricks with a blender. So that's just some really fun things. And I've just got to go to page 243 and let's see what she says are quick tricks with the blender. Oh, it's like actual little recipes. She has one for how to make almond paste using a blender, baby foods, grated coconut, frozen or canned fruit juices. That's interesting. And she says the blender is ideal for reconstituting frozen fruit juices. Turn the orange juice or other frozen breakfast drink into the blender, add 2 1/4 cups of water, or 3 cans full, and put the cover on the blender. Switch on, switch off, and there you are. Quick blending improves the flavor of canned citrus juices. It's cute. And then she has reconstituting dry milk solids, preserves, jams, conserves, whipping cream into butter. That's interesting. And she's doing it in the blender. So she says, if by chance you are sometimes out of butter, but have a half a pint of useless whipping cream, I don't know if whipping cream is ever useless whipping cream sitting around in the refrigerator, give it the whirl of its life. What do you get? Butter. And in a great big hurry too. There's my timer again. Now I got something else in the oven. You'll find that some blender manufacturers recommend whipping cream by blender. And you may even see some demonstrations of it. But the blender doesn't give you the volume in whipped cream that a rotary beater, electric mixer, or cream whipper gives, and whips cream to butter so fast that you may not catch it in time. So it's great for making butter instead of whipped cream. So again, I'll just say it's Mary Meade's Magic Recipes for the Electric Blender by Ruth Ellen Church. And I have to discover who is Mary Meade. So if recipes for the electric blender intrigue you, be sure to look for this again, out and about, at antique stores or vintage bookstores. You may find that fun. Well, finally, and this is truly the piece de resistance, this book is titled Electric Refrigerator Recipes and Menus. When I saw this, I said, oh my goodness, electric refrigerator. So people wanted to have recipes for this newfangled thing called an electric refrigerator. And this book, it's in such good condition and beautiful heavyweight paper, and it even has some color illustrations. And it was published originally the copyright was 1927. This edition is 1928, and it was printed in the United States. It's always nice to see that. But the quality of the pages is just delightful. And I want to show you, if you can see, some of the cute illustrations of the lovely homemaker and then the lovely sweet mom giving something to her children from the refrigerator. It's so charming. And this is very cute. I'll just read a little bit of the foreword to you. And the author of this was specially prepared for the General Electric refrigerator. So I don't think there's an author specifically. It must have been people. Oh, it is by Miss. Oh, how sweet is that? The author, they put Miss. And I wonder if she worked for the General Electric Refrigerator Company, or GE, Miss Alice Bradley. And it says, Principal of Miss Farmer's School of Cookery. Oh my God, Miss Farmer's. Goodness gracious, could that be Fanny Farmer? Principal of Miss Farmer's School of Cookery. Cooking editor of Women's Home Companion. Oh my gosh, Women's Home Companion, the old-fashioned magazine from that day. And I recently, in another video I'll show you, my husband actually, when he was out in his travels at a used bookstore in Austin, found me the Women's Home Companion cookbook. So I'll have to share that with you another day. But this is so cute. So by Miss Alice Bradley, principal of Miss Farmer's School of Cookery, cooking editor of Woman's Home Companion, author of Cooking for Profit, Candy Cookbook for Luncheon and Supper Guests. Oh, I think so. That's 3 books. So she was the editor of the Home Woman's Companion, and she was the author of 3 books: Cooking for Profit, Candy Cookbook, and For Luncheon and Supper Guests. Oh, that's so sweet. And the price is written in here in small print. It says, price $2. That was a fairly hefty sum for 1928. Well, I'll read the quick little forward to you. It says, with a General Electric refrigerator, many of your family food problems and your perplexities about entertaining can easily be solved. The suggestions listed and the recipes which have been tested and compiled are intended to serve as a guidebook for you. In the main, I have given basic recipes planned for 4 to 6 people. These foundation recipes have been adapted particularly for the General Electric refrigerator. By varying flavors and colorings and garnishes, you may provide an endless number of tempting dishes. So this is just so delightful. So this is another one. If in your travels, at a vintage bookstore or antique store and you come across this, I highly recommend it. If you enjoy vintage cookbooks, this one is exceptionally charming with just some lovely, lovely pictures. Here's menus for afternoon bridge. You can see the adults all dressed nicely, and it's a beautiful color picture. And let's see what else they might have. They've got, oh yes, the little lovely little drawings, and again in color, beautiful pictures of the foods being prepared, all from your refrigerator, your General Electric refrigerator. So this is just absolutely delightful. And some of the recipes, they have floats, chocolate float or milkshake. Oh my, and isn't this interesting? Orange ice for diabetics. So they even got some special recipes in here for people who, might have had a medical condition back then. Ice creams and sauces. Look at this beautiful picture. So charming. Boy, this is a real gem. This is just delightful. Well, in any event, let me see if there's a table of contents. Yes, there is, and I'll go over that quickly with you. It says menus for different occasions, concerning refrigerators. That's the title. And then it says general directions, methods of freezing, ice blocks, plain and fancy. That's interesting. Cold soups and aspic jelly, fruit cocktails and frozen salads, ices, sherbets, and frozen fruits, mousses, parfaits, and ice cream sauces, 27 flavors for frozen desserts, attractive methods of serving frozen desserts, frozen delicacies to tempt the invalid. And this is really interesting because often if you find very old cookbooks, there often will be a little chapter on feeding the sick or invalids, or as I mentioned, they had that recipe for diabetics, which was interesting. And then chilled desserts and pastries, and then just a chapter summing up the General Electric refrigerator. And then at the very end, index to menus and recipes. So this is just delightful. If you enjoyed seeing these vintage cookbooks that I shared today, be sure to subscribe to my channel and then click on this video over here where I have another vintage cookbook haul, and I'll see you over there. Love and God bless.